was telling someone the other day that literally the ingredients of success is moving through and getting on the other side of fear and hard things.
100%.
It's you got to get through on the other side. You can't go around it. You can't avoid it. You got to go through it.
You have a lot of experience in this, but having the unique ability to take those experiences, to take those obstacles, to take those setbacks, to take those experiences, both good and bad, both successful and probably a little disappointing, and identifying the lessons that we learned from that. That's going to, what if I was in that situation again, knowing what I know now, what would I have done different?
Hey, everybody, we're back in studio. Zach and I are in today for a special episode with you on this special day of the year. Now, for some of you that are not listening on release date, you're going to wonder what this is about, but this is the Christmas episode. Zach, we're in studio on Christmas. Can you believe we're bringing content on Christmas Day? Merry Christmas. We need some Christmas stuff.
And if you guys are looking for last minute gifts for that in-law or that brother or somebody in your family that surprisingly gave you a gift and you didn't have anything returned, just share this podcast with them. That will probably be the gift that keeps giving all year, Roger.
Or if they're looking for gifts for us, we take any kind of great bourbons.
Yes.
We've been talking through bourbons here this morning.
We have.
You know, this time of the year we always talk through bourbons, and we're right here in the country of bourbon, of course, in the homeland. Just a few miles away from all the big
from everywhere. So if you're into bourbon, come visit us and then get you some bourbon as well. Fun fact: our podcast was semi-seriously almost going to be named 3 Sips In.
3 Sips In. Yeah, that was one of the original, can you believe that? One of the original name concepts, 3 Sips In. And we were gonna do bourbon tasting and get 3 Sips In.
Yeah.
No more than that though, because,
Then the real insurance stories come out.
That's right. Anyway, Merry Christmas to those of you who are watching. And so any Eagle Rare, Blanton's, Weller, White, Black, Orange, Antique 107.
The whole crown box, send them.
All the good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Taylor, whatever you got, look, we'll take it. If you need the address, we'll leave it at the end of the episode. You can throw the address up there. We're accepting gifts. I don't know if that's legal, but just send it on. Address it to Adam. All right, Zach, we're in today.
Yes.
This Christmas episode, and usually Christmas is a time of the year when people are reflecting, they're thinking about their year, they're generally with family, they're with friends, they're thinking about the next year that's coming up. They usually have a little bit of time off, and it's like a reset moment. And today we wanted to talk about that reflecting time. We wanted to talk about recharging, reframing your mindset for the next season. And I know, Zach, you've been doing a lot of coaching lately, working with agents. You just finished a coaching series, and I know there's some key hit points here that I think people can take away today on this Christmas episode that we can give them that's going to help them.
Absolutely. And this episode is so powerful because it can be applied to so many aspects throughout your year or where you are in your life, both professionally and personally. Yes, we're sitting here, it's Christmas, right? Everybody's doing presents. We're thinking about our family, but we're also thinking about a new start, a new year. We know next week is New Year's. The clock ticks over. It's 2025, and the first thing we're thinking about is, what do we want to accomplish? How do we want to get there? Mm-hmm. How much better do we want to get? Yeah. And typically, agents or agency owners or brand new people coming into this business aren't just saying, I want to do the same. They're not saying
nobody's saying that.
Or I'm okay with a little bit less, right? But
who wants less than what you did before? Who wants to do less? I mean, you may want to do less and travel more. I understand that, but who wants less out of life? Nobody.
Not people listening to this call, I'll tell you that. But in order to do that, it benefits us. And as you already alluded to, Roger, one of the first things on here is to reflect. We have to reflect. We have to look back because we can gain so much knowledge and value from understanding where we started 2024, what was our goals, what was our mindset, where did we fall short, what were the obstacles that were unexpected or unintentional that came in our way, how did we overcome them, what resilience did we build, what do we wish we'd done better? And yeah, we just finished our 3-week coaching series, which is getting ready to be up, if it's not already, up in our Life Insurance Academy website, which is phenomenal. There's a deep dive into finishing the year strong. And where we have to start with that is we need to reflect. The first thing we need to reflect on, Roger, is really celebrating our wins that we already had, right, in 2024. And those wins can be personal. Those wins could be professional. And those wins can be different new hobbies that we learned or passions or something that we dove into that was a little bit different, because this business is intertangled in life. And I don't know anybody that does it better than you as far as mixing life and business all into one pot.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Sometimes people say they have to have work-life balance. Right, you hear this misnomer of I got to have work time and then I got to have me time, and we're trying to carve out these things. And my life as it's progressed has been intertwined so much with the relationships with the people that I care about the most. I spend a lot of time with you, Zach. I spent a lot of time with Adam. So to have a Christmas party at my house and not have you there would have just felt weird, you know, and your wives are there and we're having fun and we're doing life together. And so when you're trying to figure out how to do life, you do have to look back and say, because some people have had a hard time. Let's admit it. Maybe this year has been tough for you, or you've just come through some recent challenges, or maybe you lost somebody that you really cared about, or maybe a relationship got broken that you don't know how to get back, or maybe a business venture failed, or maybe you tried it in another career path and now you find yourself here in this life insurance space trying to figure out how to make it, and you've landed yourself on this podcast and you're thinking, is this for me? And you may have showed up today looking for a nugget of a how-to, how to handle an objection, or how to generate more leads, or how to illustrate an IUL properly. And we're here talking about reflecting. So it sounds kind of cheesy. It sounds kind of canned. But one of the biggest things that I think about succeeding in life is understanding that you need to have resilience in everything that you do. And the only way you build resilience is you have to look back and say, what have I learned? You know, like there's a guy that I'm in a men's group with. We meet like 6 o'clock. There's a bunch of guys doing life on life, iron sharpening iron thing, 6 o'clock every Thursday morning. And his name's Tony. Well, Tony works outside. He owns a company, and they do manual.
Tony's got rough hands.
Yeah, and when you shake Tony's hand, his hand is giant. Okay, you're like your hand disappears in his hand, and man, you can feel the calluses on his hands. Right, you can feel them. When you shake his hand, you know you're shaking a man's hand. Like that's a man's hand right there, and you feel like weak when you shake his hand. And he doesn't overdo it. He doesn't come over the top. He's not doing the over top Trump handshake. You know, he's just doing the normal. But when you grip that hand, you know he's been through some stuff. You know those hands have gone through some stuff. Like there's like life done just by looking at his hands. And I would say we got to look back at our life and realize that some of the calluses and some of the things that are formed in our life is because of the challenges we've come through, the hard things we've gone through, but also the wins we've had. And if you don't look at the wins in amongst the challenges, then your life can become very introspective and sad. You have to take the wins out of there and realize you're building something. And it takes hard work, and it's not always going to go right. And what have you learned? So in the reflection stage, what have you learned in the midst of your wins and your losses? And who are you becoming?
I want to say what's also really important to that is we're looking at positive reinforcement. Everything that's happened in our lives, people's been through a whole slew of things. But we can always look at the silver lining of that, and it's happened for a reason, and we became stronger, more resilient from that. And when you're saying that, I brought up one of the coaching slides that I used because when I put this on here, I just loved the way it read. Is resilience isn't avoiding obstacles. It's not the people that avoid it the best. It's about bouncing back even stronger. Develop specific coping strategies for common obstacles. So you think about the most resilient people in your life.
Yeah.
It isn't because they didn't have challenges. It isn't because they were more talented or gifted at birth to just not get hit with these obstacles. It was the people that probably got hit the hardest, but it's how they chose to respond. So looking at the first point in our episode today, and our goal is to give you guys the fire to launch into 2025 and to make this year not just the same as you said 2024 was going to be, or you said 2023 was going to be. And we keep having this groundhog year of motivation and goal setting where it's the same thing and we somehow in the first quarter fall short. But it's to identify and build confidence on those little wins. And it could be something simple as, someone losing a significant amount of weight to better their health, right? Someone being able to dive deeper into their faith. And it could be something professionally, like somebody taking the leap to say, I want to join insurance and I'm going full-time starting January 1st, which we've heard a couple young guys being able to do that.
Yeah.
Being able to take those leaps of faith and doing that as well, which is so exciting. It could be accomplishing a goal, and the goal could have been just write your first app, right? Celebrating those wins, and you have to reflect on that because it will slightly turn our shoulders and make that necessary adjustment so we can go forward.
Yeah, I mean, when celebrating wins, you have to reflect. You have to look in the midst of the challenges and realize there's still wins out of there. So I've learned the most and I've grown the most, Zach, probably when I've come through some of the toughest times in my life.
Yeah,
you don't enjoy them going through them. Nobody does. You're like, oh, geez, I got to go through this. But I was telling someone the other day that literally the ingredients of success is moving through and getting on the other side of fear and hard things.
100%.
It's you got to get through on the other side. You can't go around it. You can't avoid it. You got to go through it. In fact, there are ingredients in the cake, right? You got to go through it. Are you ready to launch your insurance career? Excel Solutions is your go-to leader in life, accident, and health insurance pre-license training. Their cutting-edge e-learning platform is packed with rich content. Think interactive assessments, engaging videos, and customized learning paths, all tailored to your learning style. Being students ourselves, we've trusted Excel now for years to deliver top-notch training, offering high pass rates. Their streamlined prep review courses and the exam simulator are really your secret weapons to nailing the state exam the very first time. Now, you thought it couldn't get any better. Well, it just did. Life Insurance Academy listeners, you receive an epic 50% discount, reducing the regular course fee from $199 to only $99. So, all you have to do is use partner code LIA at liapodcast.org/Excel. Now, Excel spells XCEL. So don't think about it any longer. Dive headfirst into your insurance career with Excel Solutions' premier pre-license training with that exclusive 50% discount just for you. Get the code, get licensed, and excel in your insurance career.
Roger, that brings us exactly to our second point, which you have a lot of experience in this, but having the unique ability to take those experiences, to take those obstacles, to take those setbacks, to take those experiences, both good and bad, both successful and probably a little disappointing, and identifying the lessons that we learned from that. That's going to, what if I was in that situation again, knowing what I know now, what would I have done different?
I mean, we've really got to identify these lessons. And so when you think about where you are right now, so if you've been in the business for a little while, I want to talk to you directly. If you've been in the business for a little while and you're not having the success that you want, have you had any success? Have you found someone that you're trying to emulate? Like, I want you to pinpoint, where was the success moment? Who was a person that influenced me and actually helped me level up a little bit? Is there a community where if I'm connected to a community, I start to thrive a little bit? Like you've got to identify the lessons you've learned in there. Maybe you learn some things about yourself that when you work too long on your own, you start to develop bad habits and you need to be more connected to a community. If so, then put yourself in a community, in an accountability community every day. Make sure you check in the morning with that group. If there's a Zoom room that you can get in, if there's a virtual meetup in the morning, like create it for yourself if you have to with other people that are trying to align with you. Like create your environment where you can take the lessons you've learned. I don't thrive when I'm by myself. Therefore, I put myself in a community. You may have to create the community. You may say, well, if left to my own devices, I'm rushing through and I'm trying to get a sale for me. I'm not focusing on the client. If that's a lesson that you're aware of, admit it to yourself that you're selling out of a place of you need something, a place of desperation where we say you get commission breath. If you're in that situation, then you need to say, how do I refocus, put the focus on the client so that I can meet the needs of the client and thus benefit them and elevate the value of me and them in their life, generate referrals, generate more opportunities. You got to flip the script on that lesson that you learned about how you sell, how you approach it. Like we can align this in so many areas of our life. We have to look at a lesson we've learned, identify what that is, and then how do we adjust it to move forward?
And the cool thing is if you guys can try to replace the word in your mind, obstacle, with the word opportunity. And we can't harp on what happened or why it happened, but we can plan for it to happen again. But if we change the word in our mind from obstacle to opportunity and we look at everything through a different lens. Oh, this appointment that I had set and I know she was going to buy, she didn't show up. Okay, I can react in that in two different ways. One, I can choose to let that put me down. That makes me want to walk away, makes me want to quit for the day. I'll try again tomorrow. Don't really understand. This isn't for me. Or that's an opportunity for me to call so many more people and now fill that schedule, that slot with another appointment, for which those people are generally rewarded with being able to help a family, which is really cool. So that's kind of a little wordplay I'd like to add in there.
What's next, Zach? What do you got? What's on your hit list there? What's number 3?
Yeah, the third thing is to assess where we currently are at today. This was huge for me. When I remember when I first, this opportunity was brought to me from you a decade ago, which is crazy, right?
I'm not that old, really. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I'm not
really, it wasn't.
Not that old. It really was a decade.
I didn't wear glasses then either.
Maybe Adam can spruce up the looks a little bit.
Oh, geez.
But
I'm not spruced enough.
I know how talented he is. That's why I say these things. It's like throwing him lobs, right?
Oh, my gosh.
But the important thing here was looking at where I was at after year one. Was it life-changing income? And again, my year one was the end of the year. Where we are right now is when I had this assessment. It wasn't a full year into the business. It was probably 3/4 of a year. The income wasn't necessarily what I thought it. I don't know. It wasn't where I would desire it to be. My skill set wasn't where I desired it to be. Every aspect of what I was doing just wasn't quite there. But when I'm able to assess where I'm at today, what opportunity, what skill set do I have to change my life moving forward? And the question was, which was a very pivotal question, it wasn't, was all that worth it where I am today? The question was, if I had to hit restart, and today was my first day again, except now when I restart, I get to have the knowledge I have at this moment. I get to have the experience I have at this moment. I get to have the know-how, the skills, the people around me, the support, the opportunity. I get to have all that in my pocket, but I get to start day one again. What would this year look like? So it was an optimistic opportunity viewpoint instead of judging where I was and where I'm at now. It's reassessing now, put everything in my pocket, start over again. Where could this go? And that's what brought that excitement and fire for me at that moment.
I like that. I like that concept of replacing the word obstacle with opportunity. Yeah, I'm having a challenge. I got a problem.
You can use that on stage sometime.
Right. Yeah, I will. Replace it with, an opportunity to overcome, right? An opportunity to learn. It's a great way to reframe that in your brain. So I like that. Reflect, recharge, reframe. It's because all this comes down to mindset and our approach.
100%.
And a lot of times, when we're off on these periods, again, going back to Christmas Day, when we're off and we have a little time to reflect and, you're getting ready to binge watch something or eat another meal, or, you got a couple of hours before you're going to doing the next family dinner thing, or you got to go to someone else's house or your in-laws or whatever, all the travel and stuff we do. it's usually in those in-between times when we're not necessarily thinking about work, but we're thinking about our life.
Yep.
We're not thinking about the specifics of our work, but we're thinking about what we want. It's in these moments that you're able to step back and say, hey, how do I reframe those things? And how do I move myself into a better position mentally with my perspective in this idea of resilience? How do I put myself in a position to win? And
100%.
And that leads us to our last one, of course, which I'll let you close out with this one.
Yeah, it's really reframing your mindset and taking action.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to you guys is, and hopefully you guys opened your presents, and this is one of the biggest gifts that you're getting. But
you are a gift, Zach. You just keep on giving. He is the gift that keeps on giving, Adam.
That's right. That's right.
Put a Santa Claus hat on him. I tried to get him to put a Santa Claus hat on him, and he said, I'm not rocking a Santa Claus hat this whole episode.
That dramatic pause was for you, Adam.
Yeah.
But it's wherever we are right now, if we can follow these steps and we can assess what 2025 year is going to look like, we can have that mindset and ready to take action. Why wait 7 more days? Why wait till after New Year's? Why wait for the ball drop before my family's important enough for me to do something about it? Yeah. Right. Last time I checked, Christmas was 1 day. It isn't 2 weeks. So what can we do today or tomorrow or this weekend that can push us through that way when New Year's rolls down and you listen to the New Year's edition of the Life Insurance Academy podcast? We're rolling into 2025. We're not starting our engines and trying to warm up our car. We are rolling into 2025 and we are going to blow the doors off. My goal is for every single one of you guys is to have to take a pause, reassess in your first quarter of 2025 because you've already got 80% of your yearly goal accomplished. Like, I want you to be able to stretch your brain and what's possible in those moments because maybe we had limited beliefs or limited thoughts or limited confidence. It's what can we do now to not just fall into 2025. Let's run through 2025.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because for the last 2 days, we've been working on events and strategies for January and February already, right?
Yep.
We're not waiting. We're rolling. And so taking action means why wait till January 1st? Why do the gyms fill up January 1st with all the memberships and by the second week of February, it's back down to normal numbers? Why?
What you want to do later, you need to do now.
Yeah. Because the masses think they have to wait to start.
Yep.
And we're telling you to start now and take action now. So for our Christmas special, this is it. This is what you get. We got a nice warm roaring fire here with Christmas scenes and Christmas music, and we're going to play this out. And that's our gift to you this holiday season. So I hope you had a great day with your family and hope this idea of celebrating your wins, identifying your lessons learned, assessing the current state you're in, and then taking action will help you launch into a great year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
See you on the next episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast.